June 1815. London is in complete chaos. The fate of the British Empire hangs on a single bloody battle at Waterloo. If Napoleon wins, England will fall, and the British economy will be reduced to ashes. If Wellington wins, Britain will rule the world. Investors are terrified, and the entire financial world stands on the brink of total collapse. But while soldiers are shedding blood on the battlefield, one man is preparing to carry out the greatest financial heist in human history. His name? Nathan Rothschild. He carried no sword and commanded no army. Instead, he was about to use the deadliest weapon of power, information, and with that weapon, he would deceive an entire nation. In the 19th century, news traveled at the speed of horses and sailing ships. It usually took days for the outcome of a battle to reach London. But Nathan Rothschild had a secret weapon. Spread across war-torn Europe was an enormously expensive and highly secret underground intelligence network made up of private carrier pigeons, fast boats, and elite horsemen. This invisible network was faster than all the government intelligence services of the time. On June 18, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte was decisively defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. Thanks to his secret network, an encrypted letter reached Nathan Rothschild's hands a full 24 hours before the official British government agents received the news. Nathan now possessed the ultimate secret. Britain had won the war. But instead of celebrating, he saw a historic opportunity to take control of the London Stock Exchange, the predecessor of the modern stock market. Imagine possessing information capable of doubling or even tripling an entire nation's wealth overnight. If Nathan had immediately bought British government bonds, he would already have made an enormous profit once the official victory announcement arrived. But Nathan was not an ordinary investor. He was a hunter. A simple profit could never satisfy him. He wanted the entire market. He set a cunning psychological trap based on one fundamental human emotion: panic. On the morning of June 20th, Nathan walked into the crowded and tense London Stock Exchange. Every eye in the room was fixed on him. Everyone knew about his legendary intelligence network. They whispered among themselves, hoping to catch a clue from his expression. If Britain had won, Nathan should have looked triumphant. But Nathan did the exact opposite. He walked to his usual spot beside the marble pillar and stood there with a pale, devastated expression, without saying a single word. He looked like a man whose world had just collapsed. Then, at the most unexpected moment, Nathan signaled his brokers, and they began to sell. They started unloading thousands of British government bonds known as consols at unbelievably low prices. A deadly silence fell over the trading floor. The message was unmistakable. Nathan Rothschild knows the truth. Wellington has lost. Napoleon is coming to invade England. Within seconds, fear turned into complete hysteria. Everyone raced to dump their bonds before they became worthless pieces of paper. The market completely collapsed. The value of British government bonds plunged by more than 90% within just a few hours. Established families lost fortunes that had taken generations to build in a matter of minutes. The British economy seemed to be committing financial suicide right there on the exchange floor. People were screaming, crying, and praying for a miracle. Throughout the entire ordeal, Nathan Rothschild stood silently beside his pillar, watching the financial destruction of an entire empire. But when prices finally reached absolute rock bottom, a hidden machine began to move behind the scenes. Nathan quietly activated dozens of low-profile agents who had no visible connection to the Rothschild name. They secretly bought every single bond that had been thrown away in panic. Everything he had sold for pennies just hours earlier, he was now buying back at a fraction of its true value and in quantities many times greater. In the darkness, he had single-handedly purchased nearly the entire national debt of the British Empire. The following night, at 11 p.m. on June 21st, the official government courier finally arrived in London. The news exploded across the city like a bomb. Napoleon had been crushed. Wellington had won. Britain was now the world's only superpower. The stock exchange erupted in cheers of celebration. The value of British government bonds skyrocketed at a speed never before seen in history. But that victory no longer belonged to the British people. It now belonged to one man. In a single day, Nathan Rothschild's fortune multiplied by an unimaginable amount. He did not merely make millions, he gained enormous leverage and influence over the entire British economy. With those bonds in hand, the Rothschild family became the official bankers of the greatest empire in the world. They could now finance wars, build railways, and shape the maps of continents. That historic day cemented their position as the untouchable masters of global finance. Even today, historians continue to debate the true size of the fortune won on that fateful day. But the lesson of Waterloo has never changed. In the world of money, whoever controls information also controls wealth. Rothschild's Waterloo maneuver became the greatest proof that a well-crafted deception could buy an entire empire. If you want to survive in today's financial markets, never forget the golden rule. Never trust a wave of panic. Stay objective, watch the shadows, and always follow the information. June 1815. London is in complete chaos. The fate of the British Empire hangs on a single bloody battle at Waterloo. If Napoleon wins, England will fall, and the British economy will be reduced to ashes. If Wellington wins, Britain will rule the world. Investors are terrified, and the entire financial world stands on the brink of total collapse.